Hello viewers, this is Wolf here with another figure unboxing and review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Calibre Wings F-14J Kai Monocat. So I decided to expand upon my aircraft collection recently, and I really wanted an F-14. I feel that any aircraft collection should really have at least one F-14 in there, like you just have to. And this is of course the J model, so this is a fictional aircraft. The J model never really existed. I do plan on collecting an F-14A or an F-14D at some point in the future, but I wanted the J model just because I really like this blue paint scheme that they have on it. It really reminds me of like the F2, the F2A. So yeah, so jumping right into this model, let's just take a look at the box here. You can see that this is a 1/72 scale die-cast model, so it's going to be pretty big. It kind of reminds me of the Sukhoi 57 that I recently collected. So I guess we'll jump right into this. There's not really much to really look at on the box. It's kind of just all black anyway, so there's nothing to really point out here. So we'll just jump straight into the unboxing. So there is like a Velcro strap here, so if you open this up, we're actually greeted by a nice image of the F-14J flying over there, which is pretty cool. And then of course right in here we have everything that comes included with this model here. So I'm just gonna unbox this, get everything out of here, and then we can be on our way. So let's see. Alright, so it's out of that, so I just gotta get out of this now. Okay, there we go. Alright, so this is everything that comes included with the F-14J Kai. So of course we have the F-14 right here, looking very beautiful in that paint scheme. We have a various selection of ordnance here. So it seems like right here we have some unguided bombs. These look like they're guided penetration bombs, I believe. We have some missiles here, of course, and some tanks right there. Up here, we have like an F-14J placard, which is actually kind of interesting. We have that cool little emblem there, which looks really nice. We have some extra thrust nozzles. These ones are tapered, so that's pretty interesting that they have that there. And then, of course, these are supposed to be wheel chocks. If you just have it on the ground with its landing gear in, you can just put that there if you want to. And this piece looks like a tiny antenna. I think that might... Oh, okay, so that's supposed to go onto the nose of the F-14 there. So I guess I'll just assemble that later. But just taking a look at the model here, and one of the landing gear wheels just fell off. But just taking a look at this. So honestly, right out of the packaging, this model looks incredible. The visual fidelity on this is just so good. Just looking at the panel lines, the way that they have all of the panel lines here just looks so realistic. It looks really, really good, honestly. And I really love the paint scheme, the way that they did this with the bright and the dark blues contrasting each other very nicely, as well as the Japanese emblem there looking really cool. This is a very cool looking model, and of course it feels very weighty. Of course it's die cast, which is really nice. So taking a look at the fuselage here, of course we have our number there. We have like 543. We have these little points here, which these aren't a hard material. These are actually soft. You can see as it's bending there, which is kind of interesting. So the cockpit, you can actually open up the cockpit canopy. So if you just pull it up from here, The cockpit canopy opens up that far, and it actually, I apologize for the camera not focusing, but there we go. You actually have a bunch of pilots in there. You have the pilot and of course the Wizzo in the back. If you take a look at the instrument panel, you can see that the instrument panel for both the Wizzo and the pilot actually has a bit of detail there, which is kind of cool. There seems to be a lot of detail on this model. You can actually remove the pilots out of the cockpit if you want to as well too. You can see just right here, you can actually take them completely out, and just have the aircraft completely empty. I guess if you just have it parked and you want to just have it be in standby or something like that, you can do that. I think I'm going to keep my pilots in this for now, but it's pretty cool that the cockpit canopy opens up and it kind of snaps shut like that, which is actually pretty cool. Already I'm pretty impressed with the detail here with this. This is my first Calibre Wings model, so I think this is actually pretty cool, the stuff that I'm seeing so far. So looking at the bottom of the aircraft here, of course we have the landing gear. We're missing a wheel because that wheel actually fell off in the packaging here when I took it off. But anyways, so taking a look at the landing gear, we actually have some functional wheels here. You can see that this rotates, although it does get stuck in certain positions, so it's not 100% functional. The back wheels here, they do move too, but these ones are a lot more stubborn than the front wheels. These ones are pretty hard to move, so that's a little bit weird there. But I'm really liking a lot of the markings that we have in here. Of course, we have like the danger jet intake there. I guess. Ooh, that was one of the thrust nozzles. So it seems like, so before taking a look at the intake, it seems like these thrust nozzles are mounted in very loosely, because that one just fell out on its own there. So it seems like that could be a little bit of a problem. Yeah, these mount in very loosely. I guess they wanted to make it easy for you to remove and swap them out, but they seem to sit in very loose, so it seems like they're easy to kind of fall out there, which is kind of weird. But taking a look on the inside of the engines, you can actually see that it's actually really nicely detailed in there. You can actually see the engines from the inside, which is pretty cool. I like that level of detail there, which is really nice. Taking a look under here, just in between the two engines, we actually have an arrestor hook right here, and this is movable. You can actually pull this down all the way, so I guess you can simulate this, you know, coming down to land on a carrier or something like that, which I think is actually pretty cool. Right on the back here, we have the air brakes. It's just right next to the arrestor hook, so you can see right here, you can pull down this air brake, and then of course we have the one at the top. I think this one might be a little bit difficult to pull open. If I had longer nails, I could probably grab this one. Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit difficult to actually pull out, I think. But anyways, yeah, you can pull out both the bottom section and the top section of the air brakes here, which is actually pretty cool. A nice little detail there, and it seems like they're nicely detailed on the inside as well. They have that nice red color on the inside of the air brakes, which is pretty sick. Taking a look at the front, so I was going to look at the intakes. The intakes, just like the back section, actually have a bit of detail on the inside. Of course, I don't think the camera is really going to pick it up because it's really dark in there, but you can actually see the engine components in there as well too, which is really cool. There's a lot of detail going through this model, which I think is, which I really appreciate. And yeah, of course, down here, we have the various different hard points. So of course, you have 4 hard points here for mounting weapons in between the two intakes. And I believe we should have some hard points for the wings as well too. And then yeah, the landing gear, you can pull them out and you can seal them up if you wanted this up in the air or something like that, which is kind of cool. The landing gears seem to mount in very loosely, which is why this one fell out as soon as I took it out of the packaging. So these are pretty loose. Like, I guess it won't be a problem if you have it on the ground because they obviously won't fall out. But yeah, these are pretty loose. I'm hoping that the panel covers that you put in there won't be the same issue. But anyways, getting on to a little bit of articulation. So you can see that you can actually move these wings up and down, So you have a bit of action on these, which is actually really cool. I really like that. And then you can of course do the variable wings here. So of course we have it closed in its high speed mode, but then we can open up the wings, and I just love the way that both of the wings move in tandem with each other. You can just close them in and they both close, open them up and they both open. I think that is just so cool. So yeah, we have the wings completely extended, completely exposed here, looking really nice. One of my favorite features of the F-14 is its variable wings. Such a cool design, and it's cool how they recreated this with the F-14J Kai here from Calibre wings. Yeah, visually this is a very nice model, and I like the features that we have here. A lot of movable parts. A lot of the wings are movable, so you can definitely simulate some flight action here, which is pretty interesting. I like the fact that we have an arrestor hook that moves, as well as the air brakes. That's actually really cool. Alright, so after playing around with this model and trying to get a bunch of the parts in, I think I'm ready to conclude this video, because honestly I feel like this model has really disappointed me in a lot of aspects. I feel that the visuals on this model is incredible. I think it looks beautiful. The paint, all of the panel lines, how they detailed it is just really nice. All of the writing, the Japanese emblem on it, and like everything else just looks fantastic. Even the detail on the cockpit, the fact that the cockpit opens up, you know, you can move the pilots out, you know, like the display on the cockpit instrument panel is all nice and stuff, but that's really where this, like, that's really the best points about this model. Everything else is just not good. As soon as you start to... So let's just jump into the problems that this model has. So as soon as you start to try to mount any of the weapons in, it just doesn't work, because everything on this model is just incredibly loose, to the point where you do the slightest thing and it'll fall out. These tanks here are so loose in here. Like, you can take them out incredibly easily without much effort at all. I've actually had them fall out on me on their own randomly, and then the same thing happens with the landing gear as well too. The landing gear falls out super easily. The thrust nozzles, they come out incredibly easily. They can actually fall out if you're just moving the model around, even if you're not really touching them. So that's a problem. When it comes to actually mounting the weapons in, I've tried mounting one of the penetration bombs into the bottom, and they either don't perfectly fit right, or if you do get them in, they end up just falling out. It's the same thing with these missiles here as well too. They're supposed to sit just underneath the wings, and something just fell off. I think the mounting spot for this literally just fell off. Anyways, so this part here is supposed to sit underneath the wing, and it's supposed to carry this missile as well as this missile right here. It's supposed to carry 2 missiles on it. The problem is the mounting spot for this, these parts do not sit in their mounting spot. And I was just blown away when I saw that, because I'm like, you can't really mount any of the weapons into this. I don't know if my model, the one that I got, is just defective or something. It's possible, but honestly, the fact that like all of the additional parts that come with this just don't really work properly. The best I could do, honestly, was get these tanks in. That's all I could really do. All of the weapons, I couldn't get a single weapon into their mounting spot, right? It doesn't like, they don't work. Even the antenna here on the nose, this part here is just, well, you just saw it just fell right out right there. It's incredibly, I'm gonna have to look for that later. But yeah, those parts, they're just incredibly loose. They fall out on their own. It's very difficult to actually mount stuff in. Again, the landing gear just fell out again. So, yeah, honestly, I'm very disappointed in this model. When I looked at it in the package, I was I thought I was going to get something similar to the Sukhoi 57 in terms of quality, where things on that were pretty simple to do. They locked in pretty tightly and whatnot. Like, it was a nice model to have. I feel like this is really just going to suit the purpose of a display model, just to sit there and look nice. Like, moving it around or anything like that is just going to cause problems. And another thing that I think is a big oversight with this as well is that in the packaging, they come with additional parts, like these additional, well, not this one, but like these parts here. It comes with these parts where you're supposed to take the landing gear out and then put those panels in, so that pretty much essentially the landing gear is covered up. So it's supposed to be like this is in flight mode. The problem is how exactly you're supposed to do that. This model doesn't come with a stand. So are you just supposed to have this sitting on its belly on the ground without the wheels on? So there's just a lot of things with this model. This is probably one of the most disappointing models that I've collected, and it's just a little bit saddening because, like, I really love the way that this model looks. Like, it looks beautiful, but like, honestly, it's like, it's just not good. I don't know what happened. Maybe mine's defective, but yeah, like, I'm just gonna conclude the video here. Like, honestly, I personally, just based off of what I have here, again, mine could just be defective, I don't really know, but I honestly would not recommend this model. I think I would look elsewhere for an F-14. Like, again, like, the only value you're gonna have with this is, I guess, if you just take it out of the packaging and then you just keep it as is, just have it sit somewhere and it'll look pretty. Again, it's an amazing looking model. Like, I think it's one of the best looking aircrafts that I've collected so far, but functionality wise, it's just not good. You can't put any of the weapons on, everything's loose, everything falls out. Yeah, it's just not good. So I honestly can't really recommend this to anybody. It's, yeah. But anyways, that's gonna conclude this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found it informative. There's definitely gonna be more unboxings and reviews coming in the future, so I hope you guys stay tuned for that. But until then, I hope you guys stay safe. I hope you guys have a good night or good day depending on where you are, and I will see you all later.